Welcome to the Blue Cafe. We bring you stories of faith, love, and devotion. Yeah, just kidding, please help us grow by hitting that like button. Now on to the story. I ruined my mom's life and reputation. My 40F parents, dad, 63M, and mom, 60F, have been married for 43 years. I have 6 siblings, 42F, 38F, 34F, 20M, 20M, 18M. I have been with my husband, 39M, since we were 15. I got pregnant at 17 and we moved in with my parents. I gave birth to my now 22-year-old daughter. We got married at 18 shortly after. My dad's father passed away shortly after our wedding and left his ranch-style house to my father. My grandparents built a house next door to my parents when they retired. My parents decided to let us live in this house and told us this would be my inheritance. My husband and I had no issues with this. We went on to have a 20M, 14F, 5F, and I'm currently 7 months pregnant with my last child, a boy, due in April. I thought I had a good marriage. We were intimate more than twice a week, we went on date nights, we bought each other gifts, we didn't fight. My entire world was shattered on New Year's Eve when I returned early from a girls' trip I had taken with some friends. I walked into my bedroom to find my mom having sex with my husband. My mother screamed at me to get out of their bedroom, which really shook me up even more. Unfortunately, my oldest daughter was also home in her bedroom across the house getting ready for a party. She ran out and witnessed my all but a bedsheet naked mother run out of our house next door to her house and slam the door. My daughter was devastated and went to my sister's house. I asked her not to say anything until I first talked to my husband. I asked him for the truth. He told me that my mom seduced him when we were 18 and living in their house. They'd been having unprotected sex at least once a month for longer than we were married. I ran the math and was horrified, because the timeline meant my twin brothers and youngest brother could be my husband's. I immediately called my dad and told him to come to my house without my mom. I made my husband confess and my dad was devastated. He and my mom were high school sweethearts too. Needless to say, we could hear my mother screaming from her house when he confronted her. I then told my older sister and she and I decided to have her throw a party for the whole extended family and we invited my ex's family as well. At the party, I had my 22F daughter take all the kids to our basement and put on a movie, leaving only the adult children and siblings, and I told them exactly what they'd been doing. Most of the family is on my side, except my 3 youngest siblings, 38F sister, ex's entire family. They all say I'm an for dropping this publicly. Word got out and my mom's best friend, who is in leadership at my mom's church, my childhood church, called me to verify. My mom has since been let go as the children's pastor there and she claims I've essentially ruined her reputation and life. My dad kicked her out and she's now living with my 38F sister, and lastly, my dad insisted on a DNA test for the 3 youngest boys before he'd consider anything to do with their marriage. The twins are my husband's bio children. I've since kicked him out and he's living with his parents. My father and I are discussing me moving into his much larger house and him selling my grandfather's house and him giving me the money to buy a new house somewhere else to get rid of the memories. My husband is appalled and furious that I proved he actually is about to have 7 kids, instead of 5, that I'm going to be taking half his business away from him. My husband started his own HVAC company a few years back and for the first 5 years, I helped him get it set up, ran the office completely, and took time away from my teaching career to help him get this established. In my state, all marital assets, including businesses, are split 50-50. Since the house was still in my father's name, my husband will get no money from the sale, nor will my mother, since inherited assets are not subject to be split in divorces. My mother is also likely to not get any alimony, as our state is not a no-fault divorce state. I'm now over a month removed, still extremely bitter and angry at my mother, especially at her hypocrisy of calling me a whore and shaming my family, when she's done much worse. I also despise my ex with everything within me now, as he was ducking both my mom and me in some instances, coming to our bed minutes later. He got my mother pregnant less than a week after getting me pregnant, and while I thought it was so cute and fun that I shared a pregnancy experience with my mom, she was carrying my children's half-siblings. He has broken all trust I had in men and being faithful. I have already procured a good lawyer from the firm that helped us in financial matters for both me and my dad is helping pay for it. My twin brothers, one of my sisters, and my entire ex's family have gone no contact with me and my minor children, and my children have essentially lost all of their grandparents but my dad, 2 uncles, and an aunt on my side, and my husband's 3 brothers, due to this mess. I've also developed ulcers and digestive issues because of this, so I'm visiting the doctor soon, and I've been in therapy since the first week of January. I've offered this for my 2 adult children if they need family therapy with all of us, but they're doing individual therapy right now. My 14-year-old knows that we're getting divorced and why, and she's so angry at her dad that I struggle sending her to his house on the weekends. I feel like she's old enough to make a decision on that, but I don't want to damage her relationship with her dad. I've told all my kids it's okay to love their dad, even if he hurt me, but the oldest 2 have cut him off 100%. I won't tell my youngest 2 until they're teens why we got divorced, and everyone else has agreed to not spill anything until they're old enough to understand. As for how I had no idea this affair was ongoing, my husband confirmed to me that they would have sex at my mom's office, at church, in their cars, at a motel, and when we built the business, they started having it routinely in his office, once I went back to teaching. They also had it in our houses too when my father would go away on business trips or I'd be out of town. It was pure happenstance that I came home a day early from a trip, because I was uncomfortable from being nearly 7 months pregnant and just wanted my own bed, for me to find out. Knowing they'd be carrying on this full-blown affair still if I hadn't caught them is what I'm still upset about. The fact that the grandmother and father of my children cared so little about destroying our families is what I can't get past. What's hardest for me is that my own mother would do this to me and would continue to do this for years, and not caring when it all blew up in her face that she would be destroying her entire family. Edit. Also, to add insult to injury, my husband confirmed in one of our mediated conversations the affair started when I apparently made him angry. He didn't tell me and instead vented to my mom when they were alone. She comforted him and they had sex. He loved it and then pursued her after that. He said he would have divorced me, but knew he'd get cut off from her and she was so much better at sex than me, so stuck it out with me. He told me I was a placeholder. Of all the betrayal and low blows, that statement is what keeps me up at night. TLDR. My mom ducked my husband for 22 years, got pregnant with twins, continued the affair until I caught them in bed together on New Year's Eve while I was nearly 7 months pregnant. I publicly exposed it and my mom lost her job, her marriage, and is homeless. Good on you for not literally stabbing your husband. I wouldn't be as strong. My pregnancy is the only reason I didn't end up in jail. Just in case you haven't yet, I'd recommend you seriously consider getting a doula for the birth. With all of this loss, it can really be helpful to have someone there with you during labor who has no connection to any of this but who is still 100% invested in your mental and emotional well-being. It might seem counterintuitive, but having a stranger there to give you that loving and constant support can be incredibly healing. My husband wasn't able to be there during my labor for his own health reasons, and having a doula really helped to relieve my stress and made a huge difference. I know you're an experienced mom at this point, but it isn't just about that. Lots of love to you. This is really good advice. Even if it's just to have someone there to keep the drama away from you while you're in labor. Anyone in the family, and friends, has too many emotions invested, and delivery is already a highly stressful and emotional experience without all the added drama. May have to interview quite a few doulas to find the right one for this unique situation, but it really would help. This is the best advice anyone could have given you. You need someone in your corner. Someone there for you and only you. I am so incredibly sorry that you have had to experience all of this. As a mother, I cannot imagine any of it, but most of all betraying my daughter for decades and then having the nerve to be angry at her when shit hits the fan. I appreciate how you are so diligently making sure your children, and your dad, are processing everything as well as possible. Just keep doing what you are doing and everything will fall into place. I know that you never imagined you would be feeling this sort of pain and going through this heartache. But the only thing that would be worse would be wasting your whole life with that asshole. Keep your head up and remember that this too shall pass. Prayers and blessings. +1 to a doula. My wife and I worked with a team of doulas for her first birth, and it was a long labor. Having someone there to be supportive of her so I could run home for an hour and feed the cats, check the mail, shower, etc., and know there was a pure support person, not just a nurse or obgyn, there for her was a relief. You're a better woman than I am, that's for sure. Girl, you are stronger than I am. I probably would have seen rage and kicked the shit out of both of them. Like, he was doing your mom for 22 years, then has the absolute nerve to accuse you of cheating? Maybe your now ex-husband should stop shopping at the Audacity store. I feel for you so much, it hurts. Please don't let go of that strength. You've been through so much, 2 people already ruined their lives and possibly scarred your children so much. Don't let them ruin yours too. It's not destroyed until you welcome it. Please be safe, XOXO. Make plans for security when you give birth as well. I don't know if your lawyer can help, but the hospital definitely can if given notice about it. You need the birth process as peaceful as possible, and these narcissists will make it all about themselves if they know you're in active labor at the hospital, and which one. Update: I tried hard to go the route of a mediated divorce, but my ex told me yesterday through his lawyers that he doesn't believe that the baby I'm carrying is his and he wants a DNA test as soon as he's born because he doesn't want to support a child that isn't his. He also believes I routinely cheated on him through our marriage and that I knew about his ongoing affair and used that as my excuse to have my own affairs. None of that is true, but I kind of wish it was because it would make the divorce easier. My lawyer basically told me to get ready for a long, drawn-out, brutal contested divorce and that my ex is likely going to try every underhanded tactic in the book to make my life even more miserable. Talk about projection, my scum of a father also used this tactic on my mom. He's the one who cheated repeatedly and when caught red-handed, tried to frame my mom as the cheater. I cheated because you cheated first and you were never a good wife to me. Bitch, she was busy trying to put food on the table, working her ass off to feed the whole family, and even when she worked she would bring me and my siblings to her office because no one would help her babysit us. She doesn't have time to cheat. Good thing my maternal uncles rushed to our house after the news and beat the shit out of my scummy dad. Smile. I pray that you win in life and endless downfall on your shithead husband and whore mom. Pardon my language here, she is one frown. He's going to get so ducked in court. There's no way he's going to come out of this on good terms. No possible way. Sue just so you can depose him and ask all kinds of questions. Yes, God, yes. If this is actually true and not just made up for Reddit clicks, there are some real weirdos out there. Honey, when you said that he called you a placeholder, I knew that he was bitter. None of that. The placeholder comment, his alleged reasons for staying with you, etc., is actually true. He knows damn well that you weren't having affairs and that your unborn child is his. He is just angry, bitter, and wanting to hurt you in any way he can. He realizes that he ducked up his own life with his stupid choices, and he is blaming you to cover up his own self-loathing. I know it sounds impossible now, but rise above his BS. Keep going to counseling. Keep working on yourself and your feelings. You are strong, you are beautiful, and you are an amazing woman. He knows exactly what he's lost, and that is why he is angry. Sending you virtual hugs. Check with your state laws, if in the US, but where I live at 14 years old, kids can decide whether or not to go to their non-custodial parents' house for visitation. If that's the case with you, I wouldn't force your daughter to go if she does not want to. Thanks for the advice. I'm hoping to have an official custody agreement in place in the next few weeks. If you're up for it, I'm sure everyone here would love an update. God bless. Update to my OG post. I apparently am banned from making new posts on True Off My Chest, so here is the latest update to anyone who is following me. Update to this post. I tried updating this on that post but it won't let me add another edit. So here's the latest happenings. Update recaps. My ex accused me of also being unfaithful because he was and wants a DNA test when our son is born. My aunt exposed multiple affairs in my egg donor's side of the family and tried to claim it's genetic and hereditary. My dad and I's lawyers encouraged us to meet with my egg donor for evidence and for closure, and this update deals with the answers we were given about her choices when we did meet. I met with my egg donor, dad, and our lawyers last evening. Essentially my egg donor said she knew it was wrong but enjoyed the attention, the sex was great and she enjoyed the thrill of it. She kept sleeping with my dad because she enjoyed their financial stability and carefree life and wanted to stay married. She purposely slept with him after each sexual encounter with my ex to ensure if she got pregnant she could pass the child off. She also admitted to enjoying the knowledge that my ex enjoyed sex with her more than me. She then said that she is moving in with my ex to his new place and that she invited the boys to live with them. The twins have visited once since the affair went public and told her they don't like my ex and refuse to treat him like he's their father. She said eventually they'll come around once she's married to my ex and then she'll have her family back. I laughed out loud and told her she was delusional and needed psychiatric help. Then I told her I would be taking out an order of protection against her so she'd have no access to my minor children. She called me a jealous and ungrateful cow for not appreciating that she didn't abort me and let me live. She said I should be happy that they didn't kick me out when I came home knocked up. She even had the nerve to say I should be thankful she kept my husband happy when I couldn't, so he didn't divorce me and leave me a broken and damaged single mother. She then told my dad she suffered from postpartum depression after my birth and my dad ignored it and made her feel alone, so she felt justified in hating me and to have affairs. She admitted to having multiple affairs from 6 months after I was born until New Year's Eve and said she'd still be doing it if I hadn't ruined everything. So, my 38F sister and 34F sister may not be my dad's either. My dad is even more heartbroken and angry. But we did have both our lawyers present and we got it on record. My dad has already reached out to my siblings, but to nobody's surprise I guess my 38F sister already knew it was a possibility because my mom told her about both affairs when the twins were born and she knew they might not be my dad's and kept it from us. My dad is devastated by that even more than losing his relationship with my mom. I'm not sure their relationship will ever recover. I genuinely have no clue what is wrong with my 38F sister. My 34F sister doesn't want a paternity test and said our dad will always be her dad. My dad is fine with that. I sent a message to my ex through my lawyer that I will be filing an order of protection tomorrow so that my kids won't have to go to my ex's house if my mother is there. Neither one has even attempted to find new housing either, so I guess she's planning to move into my ex-in-law's house. I really don't want my kids around that mess. He has yet to respond, but at this point I really don't care what he wants. P.S. My family knows about the social media posts as do the lawyers, but my ex and egg donor have zero chance of a good outcome in the divorce, so I'm going to be petty and enjoy their anger about being exposed, so I'm leaving it up. They can stew in their filth and know that not only does our town think they're terrible, so does the world. And I have permission from my younger sister to share what happened last night. I don't really care what my 38F sister thinks. TL, doctor, there were more affairs. My mom blames my dad for her pregnancy experience with me, and she hates me because she had postpartum depression during pregnancy, and my 38F sister knew about the affairs and never told us. My mom wants to move in with my ex and take the twins with her to start a new family. I'm taking out an order of protection against her so she can't be around my minor kids. That's so messed up. I do have one question though. Did your sister know egg donor was cheating with your husband specifically, or did she just know egg donor was cheating with someone? She knew it was my husband and didn't tell me or my dad, which is why my dad is so upset with her. How cruel of her. I'm so sorry you're going through all of this. I wish you and your kids the best. How is the pregnancy going with all this stress? I'm okay, fully at my dad's now, and my 42F sister is helping us out along with my 34F sister. My 18 brother had also begun speaking to me again, and he's been great about helping me out with my 5F daughter. Was struggling for a bit with anxiety and elevated blood pressure, but I've been getting routine massages and therapy has helped a lot. I've begun doing teletherapy so I don't have to leave the house. Please take care of yourself. I've never been through something like you're dealing with now, but I have been through painful situations where I was betrayed by family. If you ever need to talk, vent, or a distraction, feel free to send me a message. How far along are you now? I know one of your posts said around 28 weeks. I'm almost 32 weeks. Just about 8 weeks left. You're strong. I have faith in you. I'm glad you're doing therapy. You deserve plenty of support. Have you had blood pressure issues during your other pregnancies? I hope your therapist has given you some helpful coping skills. If you need more suggestions, feel free to ask. I am so sorry all of this happened to you, and so many people straight up betrayed you and stabbed you in the back. Your egg donor does truly sound delusional. Might be some severe mental health issues going on there. Not that it excuses anything, but it might be an explanation. I'm just so sorry for you and your entire innocent family that was ducked up because of their actions. I hope your siblings and kids are doing good considering the circumstances. Hope she goes after sis husband after this so she knows how it feels. I think you answered your own question of who got the whore gene. How are your twin brothers coping with this? Are they still refusing to talk to you? That woman is just filled with hate and evil. It's amazing how she managed to conceal it for so long. You are so much better away from those creatures. I bet 38F already knows who her sperm donor is, and it's not your dad. All the best for the order of protection. Your younger ones don't need to be around that filth either. You are an amazing woman. You know you have been a faithful and loving partner, and any DNA test will reveal all of your babies have the same worthless sperm donor. Their goodness comes from you. Big hugs, hugging face. Damn, she's crazy. You seem stronger. You go, girl. Yes, you are right. I'm across the other side of the world to confirm they are despicable, disgusting and shameless. Hope they can't go anywhere without anyone laughing and shaming them for the rest of their life. Praying for you, dad, kids and siblings, peace and quick recovery. Egg donor has to be a true narcissist, doesn't she? No guilt for ops, dad, no guilt for op, and going out of their way to hurt them more. Don't really want to make assumptions about 38F sister, but if that BS is genetic, we know who got them. It's not genetic. If genetics is in the play, then it's even more damaging. Your mother's family is actively ruining relationships for generations, according to your aunt. Next time she tries to make you feel bad, explain to her this is what her genetics explanation means in reality. Are you even your father's kid? She seems to have lost it long ago. I actually do believe her when she says she started having affairs after I was born, plus I look like the female version of my dad and a lot like his mom. I just said that because at this point, what to believe? Hope this ends soon for you and you can start your new life. Same for your dad. It's sad that in your family only a few seem to have matured and know what is right and wrong. And actually do the right thing. My 42 sister, Me, and my 34 sister are talking daily about this, and we've started making fun of the egg donor. Egg donor sends my 42 sister rambling voicemails, guilt-tripping her into letting her see her grandbabies since she didn't do anything to my sister personally in this ongoing unfortunate incident. I told my sister not to block her because we get a kick out of listening to the voicemails on speakerphones and making fun of her. We hope that by sharing these stories with interested folks like you, we can help people recognize the signs of a relationship in trouble, and avoid so many of these heartbreaking situations yourselves. Have a good day or night, wherever you are.